Tropical climate. The tropics are located near the equator between the tropics of the Cancer, 23 and 1/2 degrees north, and tropics of the Capricorn, 23 and 1/2 degrees south. Temperature never cool in these regions. They are constantly hot and constantly wet. It has two types, namely tropical rainforest and tropical monsoon or savanna. The Philippines is considered a tropical country because it's near the equator and it experiences wet and dry seasons only, unlike the other countries having four seasons due to its location. In other words, the location of a certain country could really affect the kind of season they will experience.
Dry climates. These climates are found in the subtropical latitude just north and south of the tropic. In these areas, the stable and sinking air of the subtropical high-pressure belts discourage rainfall. One of the several regions of semi-permanent high atmospheric pressure located over the ocean, between 20 degrees and 40 degrees of latitude in both the northern and southern hemisphere of the Earth. These high are associated with the subsidence of the Hadley cells and move several degrees of latitude toward the poles in the summer. Example, the climate of Chile compress a wide range of weather conditions across a large geographic scale extended across the 38 degrees in latitude, making generalization difficult. The Atacama Desert is the driest place on Earth and is virtually sterile because it is blocked from the moisture on both sides by the Andes Mountains and by the Chilean Coast Range. Desert climate. Most occur between about 15 degrees and 30 degrees latitude. This is where dry air sinks to the surface in the global circulation cells found in the vicinity of the Tropic of Cancer, which are hot and dry year around. Plant life is limited to species that are adapted to survive heat and drought. Although some deserts are very hot with daytime temperature as high as 54 degrees Celsius, 130 degrees Fahrenheit, other deserts have cold winter or are cold year-round.
Africa has three major deserts, as well as various smaller deserts distributed across the several countries. The major deserts of Africa include the Sahara, which is the largest hot desert in the world, and the third largest by surface area. Steppe climates, which are found of the margins of these deserts, have somewhat more rainfall. Short grasses cover these lands with limited and unpredictable rainfall to sustain dense vegetation. Since vegetation cover is usually relatively sparse, much of the soil is exposed directly to rain, overland flow, sunlight, and wind. The South Siberian forest steppe ecoregion is a patchwork of grasslands and forests in the low-lying areas of south-central Siberia. The region is one of high biodiversity as a transition zone between the West Siberian taiga to the north and the Altai Mountains to the south.
Temperate climates. These climates are found in a middle latitude where cold air masses from polar regions and warm air from the tropics collide. The three types of temperate climates are: first, temperate climates with a dry summer are also called Mediterranean climates. These regions have mild, wet winters and hot, dry summers. Only in this type of climate does precipitation fall during the winter rather than during the summer. Spain. In southern Spain, Andalusia's position at the southern edge of Europe gives it a privileged climate. Summers are hot and winters generally mild. However, there are considerable variations due to the size of the region, its mountainous character, and the fact that it is bordered by both the Atlantic and Mediterranean. Second, temperate climates that have rainfall for most of the year are widely distributed throughout the middle latitudes. Among these are marine climates with mild moist climates and humid subtropical climates, having hot, muggy summers and cool to cold winters. New Zealand. Temperature. New Zealand has a largely temperate climate, while the far North has subtropical weather during summer, and inland alpine areas of the South Island can be as cold as 10 degrees Celsius in winter. Most of the country lies close to coast, which means mild temperature, moderate rainfall, and abundant sunshine. The third type of temperature climate is characterized by dry winters and wet summer. These humid areas support luxurious mixed forest and grassland. Tropical wet dry is found near the equator, usually in the outer edges of tropical wet climate areas. The largest areas of tropical wet or dry are found in Africa, Brazil, and India.
Continental climate have long, cold winters and short, hot summers because of their location in the central and eastern parts of the countries in the middle latitudes of the northern hemisphere. Most of Ukraine consists of regular plains with the average height above sea level being 175 meters or 574 feet. It's surrounded by mountains to its west and extreme south. Wide spaces of the country's plains are located in the southwestern part of East European plain. Ukraine has a temperature continental climate with cold, snowy winters and warm summers. Summer is generally the best time to visit between June and September.
Polar climates are located at the northern and southern extremities of the planet, north of Arctic Circle and south of Antarctic Circle. Both tundra climates and ice cap climates have low rainfall. Because cold air is not able to hold moisture, it has two types. The part of the world where a polar climate exists include Canada, Siberia, and Antarctica. The weather is extremely cold for the most year. Antarctica. A take example of the polar climate. A polar climate is a type of climate in which temperature averages less than 50 Fahrenheit each month of year, and therefore warm summer are not experienced. Tundra climates have at least 1 month with an average temperatures above freezing. Arctic tundra are found on the high-latitude land masses above Antarctic Circle in Alaska, Canada, Russia, Greenland, Iceland, and Scandinavia. For example, for southern region like Antarctica, alpine tundra are located in a very elevations atop mountains where every night temperature fall below freezing. Ice cap climates, which are located around the poles, have very low temperature that ground is permanently frozen. Virtually no plant life exists in these frozen areas. A type of a polar climate in which temperatures never goes above 32 Fahrenheit, which is the freezing point. This climate occur in the polar region, in places such as Greenland and Antarctica, the coldest continent on the planet, as well as the top of some and the highest mountain on Earth.
Highland climate, also called as mountainous climates, vary a great deal depending on slope and elevation. In general, temperature is cooler at higher elevations. Rainfall is high, particularly on windward slopes. Vegetation changes with elevation. In tropical areas, permanent snow cover in high ranges like Andes and Himalaya mountains. Afghanistan. Afghanistan is located in Central Asia with Iran to the west and Pakistan to the east. Tall forbidding mountains and dry deserts cover most of the landscapes of Afghanistan. The jagged mountain peaks are treacherous and are snow-covered for most of the year. The highlands have a very cold winter and the temperature in January can reach below negative 30 degrees Celsius or negative 22 Fahrenheit. In winter and early spring, the weather is significantly influenced by cold air masses from the north and the northwest. Snow generally falls from November to March or April, with occasional snowfalls as early as October.